Hi everybody, it's Silver Fisher. Thank you for joining me today. Say, I wanted to tell you a little bit about my childhood. When I was young and growing up, my dad was really tough on me, and so were my brothers, quite frankly. It's just a tough childhood. But I used to go out to this park that was near our house at night, and I would find such amazing comfort from God, I just love serving God on my knees. It's something that has been with me since I was a small child, And I used to just get underneath those stars and just lift my hands and say, God, help me through this situation in life. Help me through my tough childhood. Day after day after day, getting pounced on by, my dad, my brothers and stuff. It's like not easy to live as a little brother in a house with 5 boys. But, let me tell you this. As I began to pray, God began to just merge together and give me such peace in my life, when I'd go out there to pray. I just remember being there underneath the stars and seeing the reality of God as I looked up in the sky. And every once in a while, I'd go out there with tears in my eyes, just saying, God, I want to serve you. I want to love you. I want to be a better Christian. And, I would see just a falling star, or a shooting star, just light up the night sky, just, come completely across the sky. And I'd always feel like, oh, God is there. When I'd look at Orion's belt up in the sky, one time I was there praying, and I'll never forget, I went out there and there was nothing but clouds, but I wanted to see the stars because they kind of like reminded me that God was real. But when I saw the clouds out there that night, I just knelt there and I was just going, God, I need to see you tonight. I need to see those stars. And I remember I just got real quiet and God just said, Silver, do you see the stars? He just spoke to my heart. And I said, no, God, I don't see the stars. And he goes, but do you believe that they are there? And I said, yes, God, I believe that the stars are there. And he said, I am too. And God let me know that even though I could not see him, and sometimes I could not feel his presence in my life, that he was there with me. He was present. And there was another time when I was just kneeling there, and the same thing with the clouds in the sky, and I couldn't see the stars. And I remember just closing my eyes for a moment and saying, God is here. God is here. And I remember looking back up at the sky, and I just watched the clouds tear apart. In the middle of my prayer, I just saw the clouds just separate, and I could see the most amazing stars behind those clouds. God wants to meet you wherever you're at today. He wants to be your friend. He wants to be your mentor. He wants to be your amazing God that you seek. Look, let me encourage you to do something, okay? When you go to God and you want something, and you say, God, look, I want this, I want that, I need this, I need that in my life, attach an additional 5 minutes to the front of that prayer. When Jesus taught his disciples how to pray, he said, when you pray, pray in this way. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. That's how Jesus said to start your prayers. Hallowed be thy name. Give God the rightful place in your heart. Give him the rightful place in your life. It's been well said that the size of your God in everyday life will be the size of your God when you need him the most. If you walk around all day long and your God is this little tiny God, you don't pay attention to him, you don't pray to him, you don't seek him with all your heart, well, that's the size of the God that you'll have when you need him the most in a trial. But on the other hand, if your God is glorious and amazing and praiseworthy, and he lives big within your heart, he will be that great God when you need him the most. He may not fix the situation you're in. He may not heal you. He may not heal your friends and your family, but God will give you the peace that you seek in every situation. He said he came to give us life, and that more abundantly. But it doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to take every problem away. There was a guy named Daniel in the Bible, and Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, but he was a man of God. Now, the lions didn't eat him, but he was in the lion's den. And that you can assure, that God is not going to get you out of every situation, but He is a loving, kind, graceful God that loves you with all of His heart. And He will be with you to give you the peace that you seek. Even when He ripped those clouds apart in the sky, even when He sent that shooting star across the sky, God will be there with you to let you know that He's present and that He's going to give you that peace in that situation. God bless you. This is Silver Fisher. Thank you for joining me.